Rogue Priest are what enables the Mage to shine and land those polys. And actually, I think Mara has been the MVP so far for Ascendant in the previous match.
Well, it is a mirror matchup to kick off our grand final. It all comes down to who the best truly is.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Acro was both crossing the map, looking for that sap early on from the Mage, but Acro being found. He actually got the sap onto Raikou. This could be forced trinket and a slight lead for Ascendant as Radapai moves forward. There's the cheap shot onto Raikou. Radapai, though, getting intercepted with a kidney shot. Raikou did use the human racial to trinket and get a Ring of Frost as they were looking to set up on Acro. And it seems to be Method Black's strategy to go after the Rogue quite a lot. They get a Cloak of Shadows, but no trinket. It's not a huge advantage there. Radapai caught into a fear. They're still just going after Acro. Maybe back on Tomorrow now with the Polymorph secured. Both priests into Polymorphs. The Mages are under fire. Temporal Shield, though, for Raikou. Should be able to bounce his health back to a healthy margin. Now immediately chunked back down, though, and that's going to be the first ice block. This is a lead for Ascendant.
Yeah, Method Black was able to get the pain suppression in the opener, but that's really it. Master Spell comes in. Flurry comes in from Maro as well. Big damage over onto Raikou. Looks like Chaz's going to drop that powered barrier to keep Raikou alive. That's the Archangel, the Raptor, powered barrier. Everything used by Chaz very early on. He still has his trinket. There's a kidney shot over onto Raikou as Acro. I'm not sure what he's doing right now. He's running away, realizing maybe he could be in a little bit of trouble. He wants to just stall out the game, go for a re-stealth. He realizes that Method Black has been swapping to him quite a bit.
Yeah, and now he's going to open with a cheap shot on Waz. Acro is definitely afraid of going down. You can see that Method Black have instilled the fear of death into him. He's playing much more defensive-oriented. We see Raikou getting kicked. There's the Frozen Orb. He can't blink out of it. That's a lot of damage. It could easily be the second ice block. There's still more. That's the second ice block. Radapai moving in. Master Spell. Waz is right on top of him. Radapai's trying to fake cast. He gets kidney shot away, but Raikou cancels. He blinks away, but he can still easily go down. That's a lot of damage still available. Waz is doing everything he can. Defensive blind used on tomorrow, but Acro is all over him with a blind and no trinket. Raikou is easily going to go down. He hangs on by a thread with that spell steal, but it's not enough. Ascendant are going to be claiming game number 1.
And that's that aggression that we love to talk about from Ascendant. They're going to get that early win here in the way that they like to play the game. Now, when we did watch that, you got to think about all the history in the squad. You got to think about Raikou and Waz failing year after year at achieving their goal of winning BlizzCon. They made this entire squad around that idea, and going down here is not going to be something that sits well with them, Zico.
Yeah, I mean, this could shake things up, but they did lose the game 1 in the previous series, so potentially they might just,
So many convincing seasons as these gates are about to open.
Not that I can really remember. They've just been doing such a good job multi-classing, playing all the best comps at the highest level. It really is beautiful to watch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the gates have opened. Ascendant lead this best-of-7 grand final series. They're looking to overthrow Method Black as the 4-time cup in a row, or 3-time cup in a row champions, and they're looking to make a 4th. We see a sap on Maro. Let's see how devastating Waz can make this initial attack. Chaz is right on top of him as well. Now moving over to Radapai, just hear a Psychic Scream. Chaz is going to get stunned away. Ebon Bolt attempt from Raikou, not able to land that just yet. We see Mara with Icy Veins used very early on, or actually spell stealing potentially from Raikou. We see a double Psychic Scream. Raikou is the one who's going to be on the back foot initially as a result of this. The damage is flying forward. This could be the first ice block. Radapai not able to master spell as he is polymorphed away. Raikou actually choosing to cancel the ice block and try and reverse the pressure, but there's so much damage. Raikou and Waz both dangerously low. Chaz is doing his best to pick both members back up. There's a smoke bomb from Acro. Not really going to be capitalizing too much on the back of that. Raikou getting counterspelled. Acro in hot pursuit, and right now Ascendant have a massive lead.
Full Ring of Frost on Chaz. Raikou's still in a lot of trouble. He blinks away. Pain suppression going to be committed by Chaz as well, as Acro looking to reconnect to his target. Raikou doing a good job slowing him down with those polymorphs, with the Frost Nova, but Radapai putting out a whole bunch of damage. Chaz with the pendants might be able to keep him alive. There's a kidney shot on Radapai. He actually uses a human trinket as well as the premonition to get out of that, but a nice fear coming in from Chaz into the ring, so Radapai's going to be crowd controlled up, but the damage for Method Black just isn't there. They survive that CC chain. Acro and Maro basically taking 0 damage.
Yeah, Maro in a good position. It would force him to overextend, but Acro is maybe going for a restart there. Well, it doesn't ultimately matter. The sap ends up breaking. Radapai moving across the map. He wants to try and get a Psychic Scream out of this kidney shot that Acro is setting up. This is the crowd control chain that could force the second ice block if Acro can stun lock Raikou. There's the stun lock on the Psychic Scream. Maro needs to dish out the damage. There's the Frozen Orb, forcing the block. Radapai lands a massive spell. Ascendant are all on top of Raikou. There's a dangerous Ebon Bolt being casted, but he's trying to fake cast Waz at the same time. Ratipai now getting kidney shot. Raikou looking to reverse this pressure, but Ratipai preemptively uses pain suppression to soak a lot of this damage. Will the pain suppression be enough to keep Maro alive and hold onto the block? No, it won't. And that means that this attempt now puts them 2 cooldowns behind. It seems like Method Black are trying to fight this back, but Maro still has a lead with 1 more ice block.
Yeah, Watts just sitting in stealth though. Raikou blinking over with the Ebon Bolt. He got sapped. Very nicely done by Watts. This is a nice setup from Method Black with the smoke bomb. Blinks out of it immediately into a kidney shot. Cheap shot on Ratipai. Maro taking a little bit of damage, but I think he's going to be able to survive here. Rapture available for Ratipai. The powered shield spam will be enough to keep him alive. But Method Black is the one that has basically nothing left. Full fear over onto Chaz. Can Maro find the follow-up polymorph? No, he cannot. Waz doing a good job slowing that down. Kidney shot onto Chaz, looking for the Ring of Frost. He uses the human trinket, the premonition, but the polymorph lands anyways. This is disaster for Method Black, but Raikou doing a good job realizing the situation. He's going to be hightailing it out of there.
Yeah, but now sneaking in a polymorph. This could be the second ice block for Maro. What's he going to do? He's trying to blink away and kite Waz. Waz not able to catch up just yet. Maro knows that he needs to spam polymorph defensively, and as both teams are beginning to stabilize, but Maro still has a lead with an ice block, but they could force it right here and even this game up. Ebon Bolt will force the block. They mass dispel it. They could KO him. They're purging off the powered shields. Penances are flying in. Both penances on Maro. Maro restabilized, but we're completely even at this point with no ice blocks available for the mages. How are the priests going to deal with this? Chaz has gone to a polymorph. Everyone in crowd control. Raikou trinkets out to get that temporal shield. He needs a couple more seconds. They purge it off. They race to the finish. A psychic scream. Chaz likely needs to trinket this. They're trying to hold on to it with the defensive blind on Maro, but there's no trinket. He's not trinketing out, and Raikou will ultimately go down. I can understand why Chaz would want to hold on to it, to use it on the blind later on, but in that particular moment, there was nothing that could have kept him going.
Oh, Acro did such a good job.
Into Ashamane's fall. This is game number 3. If Ascendant can win 2 more in a row, it would be quite the upset against Method Black, who have won the past 3 EU Cups in a row. Let's see if Ascendant can overthrow them here as the gates have opened.
Yep, both Acro and Waz going to be moving in, looking for an opener here. Waz actually holding on to his sprint, which we haven't really seen too much of. So he's going to be taking a little bit more of a defensive approach. Acro already pulling the trigger on that cooldown. Maro in invisibility. Both these mages will be out of invisibility shortly, so the action should start soon.
Yeah, both mages just bouncing around, looking to find each other. Maro gets mass dispelled out. Let's see if Waz is going to try and capitalize on that. Acro moves over, kidney shot on Chaz. I don't think he's going to get a polymorph. Maro gets shut down by a counterspell from Raikou. Great temporal shield as well. Raikou disabling this opener quite effectively. Now popping Icy Veins to rotate the pressure. Maro equally answering that with a temporal shield of his own. So both mages trying to predict the damage and get ahead of it. Temporal shields are now out of the way, which means they will be exposed. We see a sap onto Ratipai. He used pain suppression preemptively as well. So there's a lead for Method Black as they swap to Acro. They managed to get his trinket and his Cloak of Shadows without the smoke bomb. They could switch back to him later.
Yeah, Acro actually just preemptively trinketed out there as they were attacking Maro as well, so they really have put the fear of death into Acro in this matchup. Cheap shot spam over on a Raikou, full Ring of Frost on a Chaz. This could be the first ice block as Ratipai loads up the Light's Wrath there. Put out some pressure on him, but it looks like he is going to be able to survive fear on the Chaz. Raikou still in some trouble. Doesn't want to get too low with that ice block, but Chaz comes out with the Archangel, able to easily top him off.
Yeah, now Maro is in trouble with Ratipai going into a full polymorph. Method Black look to pull the trigger and strike back. They get the first ice block of the game. That's going to be a massive lead. Chaz landing a mass dispel. Waz in hot pursuit sprinting after him. It's important they save that sprint because now he's able to easily reconnect. Maro gets the temporal shield up though, soaks a bunch of that damage. Now Chaz is the one in a polymorph. Raikou could be in trouble. He's going to trinket up, but gets stunned on his trinket by Acro. Another cheap shot. Does he have enough damage to end this? There's a sap now onto Chaz. That's going to be a nice block from him. Ratipai lining up the mass dispel. Powered shield though, not going to be removed. Raikou will recover. Now we're tied. Chaz used the trinket. Ratipai ahead in that sense. So Ascendant are looking good in this position.
Yeah, very, very good. And no one on Method Black has a trinket at this point. Full polymorph over on a Ratipai. Cheap shot onto Acro once again. Who is Method Black targeting? It looks like Maro is the target of choice, but he's doing a good job with his blinks, with his polymorphs. Actually lands a full polymorph over onto Chaz, and now the stuns are going to be landing over onto Raikou. Ascendant's time to get aggressive here, but Maro still could be in some trouble. Ratipai actually goes into the full blind there. Both Priest and blind at basically the exact same time. Temporal shield activated by Maro as he's still trying to kite around the best he can. Full sap over onto Chaz into a fear. Ebon Bolt cast out by Maro, looking to get some damage onto Raikou, but nice done by Raikou.
Whoa! Just gets completely deleted at the end of that game.
Holy smokes! Like, this is actually crazy.
But what ends up happening is that Acro kidneys Chaz right there before the fear. Maro deflects the situation by pre-blinking Waz step right there and landing a poly out of that. And that kind of resets the situation here because Chaz doesn't have a trinket and there is the full blind. And there Radapai makes a big misplay, using his human racial on that kidney shot. And despite of that, Ascendant are still going to be able to turn the pressure around here onto Waz. Beautiful DR sap from Acro, beautiful Ebon Bolt cast. Raikou blinks it, and Acro here is definitely the one initiating this swap, and there it is. Big Ebon Bolt onto Waz. Penance is flying in, Ice Nova, and of course that Cold Blood, the Artifact.
It is off of just insane mastery that Method Black does have, but on the other end, Ascendant has a completely different skill, and that is punching hole through walls. We used to call him the Young Rat, now we're calling him the Young Fist. Radapai smashing through the competition with Acrolals and Maro. Will Ascendant be able to find the quick 4-0 to close out this EU tournament?
We may be crowning a new king of EU here and now. This is match point for Ascendant as they lead the series 3-2-0. Method Black need to reverse sweep 4 in a row if they want to keep their string alive.
Yeah, sap onto Raikou right now. Waz looking to play a little bit of defense right now. Nice life grip coming in from Chaz. Raikou was way too exposed in that position. Acro's now easily able to get the follow-ups done over onto Chaz because they were positioned so closely. Raikou's going to trick it out of that immediately. He's going to be blinking away, trying to avoid some damage. But a nice counterspell coming in from Maro. That is the pain suppression, I believe, coming in from Radapai onto Maro to keep him aggressive in this situation.
But both Acro and Radapai have been locked out of the fight for quite some time. It's been a 3-on-1. Chaz lines up that Master Spell. They're gunning for Maro's life. Radapai trinkets out. Rapture denies the kill for now, but this is a significant lead for Method Black. Chaz into a kidney shot. Maro needs to capitalize on this. They secure the polymorph, but a nice Frost Nova on Acro's denying the reconnect. He gets out of it for just a second, but they can't get onto Raikou. Chaz still into the Psychic Scream. They still can't get onto Raikou. They drop the smoke bomb. They go straight for Maro. He trinkets out. He blinks on the smoke bomb, reconnecting with Radapai, but Method Black have all the momentum this match.
Yeah, kidney shot onto Radapai. Chaz in position for a full fear. Maro might be going into a second ice block, but an Ebon Bolt being cast out by Maro's. Radapai is feared up as well. Cheap shot onto Waz. He uses the evasion, he uses the trinket, he uses basically everything to keep himself alive. Full blind onto Acro as well. Maro into that second ice block. Method Black looks on fire.
Maro gets Master Spelled out. He's down 2 ice blocks. This is a massive lead for Method Black. This looks like a completely different team in this series, this match. Radapai trying to recover. I really don't know what they can do. Maybe swap to Waz with no trinket. Other than that, I mean, Raikou is just so massively ahead. Maro, what can he do to stay alive? He's in the middle of the map. He's trying to stay aggressive and make something happen. Waz gets cheap shot. They are going after the rogue, but it's too predictable. He's going to take absolutely no damage, and the Method Black are in insane lead at this point.
Raikou just did an excellent job playing defense there with the counterspell on Maro with the polymorph spam as well. They had no chance of taking down Waz. Good burst onto Raikou with the full polymorph secured onto Chaz. It's inevitable being cast out by Maro. First ice block forced out. Radapai getting feared up as he charges on top of Chaz. Now Raikou with his own Ebon Bolt trying to connect some damage, but Maro out of line of sight, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, but Radapai still in a full polymorph, and Maro has nothing left to stay alive. He's gonna get taken down by Waz, and Method Black are not going to let this finals walk away from them without a fight. Taking it.
They are the ones forcing not only the ice block, but the pain suppression as well. And it's small things like that that really make Waz just stand out.
Don't you do it, Rich.
We've talked about numbers throughout this entire series. I'm not going to do it. We've talked about numbers throughout this entire series, but none of that matters now because we are on Ruins of Lordaeron, and it
would be a fitting final resting place. Indeed.
I wouldn't want it to be my resting place. Just saying.
It's too spooky?
Yep, a little bit too spooky. Prefer Ashmane's Fall. But both of these rogues are going to be sitting in stealth, looking for an opener right now. We'll have to see how that plays out. Acro in position right now on top of Chaz. Going to be looking for that kidney shot. He decides to pull the trigger, moving over onto Raikou, but he gets Ice Nova'd out. Nicely done by Raikou.
All right, Chaz. Both priests got into a kidney shot with no follow-up, so let's see if they can avoid the polymorphs later on. Radapai does not. It's going to be a bit of a lead for Method Black, and they're going after Acro. There's no Cloak of Shadows and no trinket. He's very low on health. He actually drops the smoke bomb defensively, and Acro is kind of just flailing to stay alive at this point. Method Black are in complete domination. Radapai trying to pick him back up. Penance will save him for now, but with Acro having no trinket, no Cloak of Shadows, he's going to be an open opening target that Ratipai needs to keep his focus on, and if he has to worry about his Mage and the Rogue, this is a dangerous situation to be on. Waz drops the smoke bomb. They're looking for the first ice block from Maro. They're holding on to it for now, blinking away, looking to try and reverse the pressure, but gets counterspelled on the polymorph. Chaz is broken out of that crowd control chain, and Method Black are just an entirely new team at this point. Yeah,
they have controlled this game from start to finish. A little bit of burst now going over onto Raikou. He trinkets out of the blind. That's going to be his Raptor and his Archangel to keep Raikou alive. Uses the Temporal Shield as well, so small little victory there for Ascendant. Kidney shot over onto Ratipai. Maro looking for the follow-up CC. He manages to land the Ring of Frost. Nice cross CC coming in there, but Maro's the one that's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Pain Suppression from Ratipai, though, does manage to keep him alive, but still the Ice Block gets forced out.
And Mass Dispel will connect, so Maro needs to try and retreat away while Ratipai is still polymorphed up. That polymorph is now faded. Ratipai with Archangel channels a massive penance. Acro landing a cheeky sap onto Waz as he was trying to cross the map to crowd control the enemy healer. Chaz now into a polymorph as Ascendant are looking to strike back. They need to try and get a block with this polymorph from Raikou. Evan Bolt is being channeled. How's Raikou going to deal with it? He's going to just ice block it. He doesn't want to risk that getting a lucky crit or just being really high in damage. Ratipai's first ice block has now been forced, and this game is starting to even up.
Yeah, kidney shot on Ratipai. It looks like Raikou's looking for the CC, but Acro doing a good job. Chaz pushes in, gets the fear. Second ice block coming in from Maro. Gets Mass Dispelled. Cheap shot. He gets life gripped away by Ratipai, who has to trinket to keep him alive. Definitely not the best spot to be in. Major defensive overlaps, the trinket and the ice block. The ice block and the pain suppression has put Ascendant greatly behind in this matchup.
Yeah, Ascendant's path to victory now, I think, is a swap to Waz. They've got a kidney shot on Chaz. Maro lying for Ring of Frost, looking for Poly. Gets stunned. A great shutdown from Waz, removing Maro from the fight. Because Ratipai trinketed earlier, he does not have a trinket for this blind crowd control chain. This is going to be a very long chain. Double Ring of Frost. Raikou landing double after double, and that's going to be an easy game 5. We're going back. This could easily be a reverse sweep for Method Black.
They're schooling it.
Will Method Black tie it up here, or can Ascendant just close out the entire tournament and be our EU champions?
Method Black dodged death again in that last match. They need to do it 2 times in a row, and they'll be taking this cup. It'll be the 4th one in a row for them. Ascendant need to take a deep breath, get calm, cool, and collected, because they looked phenomenal in the first 3 games. If they can just step up for one of these matches, they will be the victors.
Yeah, either one of these teams can ride that initial momentum from having a good opener or reversing a good opener. So, like we said, it's interesting to see how they open up. Is anyone going to find a sap? Waz is on top of Maro right now, actually landing that sap. That is not a good thing for Ascendant. As all 3 members dogpile in, you can see Acro's charging in, gets the kidney shot onto Chaz, cheap shot onto Raikou. Waz responds now, cheap shotting up everybody. Can there be a follow-up CC? It looks like Ratipai is going to be able to avoid it for now. Nice fear coming in from Chaz, though, as Raikou looks to position himself, but he's taking a lot of damage, landing the polymorph with the Icy Veins. Maro just spamming out the polymorphs onto Raikou, realizing he's going to have to play defensive, but he is forced into that first ice block.
Yeah, it's going to be a lead for Method Black. Maro still falling more and more behind. Waz looking to try and sap out of the sheep, potentially not able to find it. They're going to go for a kidney shot instead, and Maro is on hypothermia. They drop the smoke bomb. Everybody in crowd control. Method Black with immaculate cross crowd control in these past 3 games. They
him away.
This is, both of these teams, sky is the limit for the whole year, but this is the only game that they can think about. This one will decide it all. Who is going to be our EU champion, Method Black or Ascendant?
The gates have opened. Both of these teams have come out swinging. Ascendant led this series 3-0. Method Black have swung back with a 3-0 of their own, and this is it. Everything on the line. Who is the king of Rogue Mage Priest? We find out here and now.
Yeah, this is a good opener for Method Black once again. Ratipai into the CC. Maro uses Icy Veins, his Temporal Shield, looking to get aggressive. Pain Suppression going to be used by Chaz early on Raikou to keep him aggressive on his Icy Veins. Who's going to find the polymorph? Raikou taking most of the damage with a nice dash. Raikou almost exploding in the opener.
That was a cold snap ice block. He got locked on Frost. Raikou is down 2 ice blocks at this point. This is a huge lead for Ascendant. I don't even know if this is the lead that Method Black can come back from in this position. Ratipai premonitions, but a second too early. He's gone to a full polymorph. They need to at least get an ice block from Maro with this polymorph. They're not even finding it though. Maro knows they've got this game in the bag at this point. He just needs to avoid the stun. Chaz gets kidney shot away. Preemptive Temporal Shield. Acro is trying to sink his teeth in, but this Temporal Shield should absorb a lot of this damage. We see a kidney shot on Ratipai, but he's still on polymorph DR, I believe, so there's not going to be any capitalized play off of that. How is Raikou going to stay alive then?
Waz did such a good job there slowing down the CC coming in from both Ratify and Maro. Full blind now onto Chaz into a full Ring of Frost. Raikou taking more damage. He trinkets out into the Ring of Frost. Unfortunately, it's not going to be any follow-up damage. Nice cheap shots coming in from Waz once again. Another kidney shot on Chaz. Ebon Bolt being loaded up by Maro. Lands another Raikou. Big damage. Raikou needs to stay alive. Smoke bomb gets dropped, and Ascendant has done it. They take the final game of the series, going up 4-3, finally dethroning Method Black.
Ascendant says that they will not be reverse swept, not here in the grand.
Full blind onto Chaz. Maro is gonna reach Raikou. Raikou's doing his best that he can to kite away. Beautiful Ring of Frost is gonna be casted out of that blind. Ebon Bolt is gonna connect right there onto, no, he gets kicked. Beautifully done by Waz. Sheep shotting acro rolls as well. Waz is doing everything he can right now to stop the whole team, but there's a nice sheep onto Waz by Maro to allow himself to get some freedom to cast these spells, and there it is, blinking on top of Raikou with the Ebon Bolt. Nice smoke bomb, Ice Nova, Frost Nova from Acro and Maro, and that blind from Waz, it comes in, but it's a little...
Ascendant wins our finals 4-3 against Method Black. And just, I mean, look, both of these teams, it was just such, you couldn't write this. They both go on an absolute tear. They play against each other in the semifinals. Ascendant then goes, beats Tempo Storm in that losers portion of the bracket, gets the rematch, and completely turns.
Ascendant are going to be able to dethrone them here in the EU Cup #2, and they needed this win. Not only is it a decent chunk of change, that 180 points will almost guarantee them a spot to the summer finals later this year. They may need a couple top 5 finishes, but they can kind of breathe easy, whereas teams like Tempo Storm